What's good, everyone? It's your man, correspondent Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And yes, this is where we at now. You clearly see the title of the broadcast, and we have a guy here that's going to, he's he's feeling some type of way. And the thing of this is that his tattoos are hindering him from getting a job. Now he's a just a normal guy, things like that. He's not no rapper or no entertainer, stuff like that. Because we know some of our entertainers, they tend to get all these tattoos all over the place, things like that. Stuff, they live in a different lifestyle and their income is different. But when you're a normal person and things like that, and you're trying to go out here and get a normal job and actually pay your bills and just trying to build your life and stuff like that. Most jobs on the normal level are not going to want to hire people with a lot of face tattoos and a lot of tattoos, period. And this is the misinformation that we've allowed society to think for quite some time here. And a lot of men and women out here have went out here, got all these tattoos and stuff like that, and then they be on the back end wondering why they can't get jobs and stuff like that. And it's supposed to be this equality and this freedom and stuff like that, and that's not how business works. The majority of people are normal people, and they're not walking around here with a bunch of tattoos. The majority of people that pay for goods and services, they're not walking around here with all these tattoos all over their face and everywhere. Just they're not. So we're gonna go here now. We're gonna hear what this gentleman had to say about his experience trying to find a job and what he had to deal with Starbucks. So we're gonna go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes.
So my interview for Starbucks was at 2 o'clock. It is now 2:03, and I'm back in the car.
Damn. At 2:03.
Starbucks has a corporate policy where you can't have face tattoos. Not even if I wore makeup. I asked them about that. I feel a little defeated, I gotta be honest with you. It's been 5 months since I worked, and I've been going on interviews, and I have been applying to everything, and I was hopeful about this one because I thought Starbucks was like a cool company that really didn't mind about things like that.
Now, my question is to this gentleman here. Um, if he's really been inside any Starbucks, and this goes for cross America, what I'm saying, wherever you at out there, and what I'm saying, listening to me right now, if you've been in any Starbucks, have you ever seen people in Starbucks that work behind the counter with face tattoos or any type of visible tattoos and stuff like that working in Starbucks? I'm just asking a question here. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think.
But it is what it is. So this just happened. I'm still feeling the kick in the dick from what just happened. But, I'm going to get employed at the job that is right for me when the time is right. And, call it God, call it the universe, call it what you want. I believe that there's a loving, caring presence that guides me throughout my life. So even though on paper it appears like I needed to start working yesterday, a long time ago, God, the universe has other plans. So I just need to keep my eyes and ears open and keep doing the same thing I've been doing. And the right employment will come. I have to believe that.
And I do understand about having faith. Growing up as a preacher's kid, I understand that faith is in place, but and, and I'm gonna put this out here. Let me just say this real quick. Maybe the types of jobs he's going for may not be applicable for him having these tattoos and stuff like that. Maybe he needs to go for a warehouse job where he's not in like public view or customer service or something like that, because the Starbucks job is customer service. You're going to be in front of people that, for the brand of Starbucks, may of course not wanting that type of look for their brand and stuff like that. We have to understand branding, um how branding works, things like that. When you go to these jobs and how they hire and how they don't hire certain people, stuff like that, it's because the corporation has a certain branding and stuff like that. Now we cannot like this way or whatever we want to sit here and say about discrimination maybe, or whatever the fuck you want to try to add on to this. But if you owned a corporation or a company and stuff like that, and what I'm saying, you wanted to appease your constituents that's actually going to pay you and your employees, you need, and if they come in and they see certain things that they don't like and they stop, frequenting, that would basically come into your establishment, you have to change things, or you have to put things in place to where these people are, feel like they're welcome into your establishment and things like that. And that's the way Starbucks rolls. And it's not hard. It's really not hard to understand these situations and stuff like that. It's really not hard to put yourself in these people's shoes that own these businesses and things like that, that their clientele is not the type of clientele that want to come into Starbucks and see people with tattoos all over the place. It's not like going to a bar or a nightclub or something like that where you expect that in that type of atmosphere. Sorry, but it is strategical things and places that you're going to go and you expect to see certain things. When I go to the bar or something like that, of course, if I see my bartender with tattoos and all that type of stuff, I'm not tripping. Like, this is the atmosphere. And I hate that we, have come to this point to where people think that, people should not be in certain type of boxes. I'm sorry to tell y'all this, but this is reality here. This is reality. There are certain boxes that we are all in strategically, and that's just how life goes. And we could talk about discrimination and whatever we want to talk about, but when the shoe is on the other foot and you have to appease the people that are coming into your business, that are feeding you and the other and your employees and things like that, what I'm saying, you want to acclimate yourself to what these people want to come into your business for and what they don't want to see or what they do want to see. That's just how business works. And I get what this gentleman saying here, like, yeah, I'm trying to find a job and stuff like that. But I think he's actually going for the wrong type of jobs. Like I say, I think he would probably do better if he go out for some warehouse jobs to where he's not in the public view and he's able to, still have a sustainable job. He's able to, get paid, stuff like that, do the things that he need to do to better his life. I really think that he needs to go for like warehouse work or construction or something like that, for real though. Let's keep going.
Because what's the alternative? Give up? I'm not going to give up. But damn. I was in that interview less than 3 minutes. But I did get a cup of free coffee, so hey, there's a silver lining. Talk to you soon. Deuces.
Yeah, man. I really do hate this for him at the same time, but yeah, we have to understand that with this particular situation here, and he's going through what he's going through and things like that, with the job market the way it is, this new age stuff that's going on, a lot of companies and corporations are not going to hire people with face tattoos and what I'm saying, certain tattoos in certain places. You got a full arm sleeve tattoo like this and stuff like that, face tattoos. You can't go work for Bank of America with that. You can't, hell, even in Walmart, it's going to be a stretch to get a job there. Like I said, unless you work in like the warehouse part of Walmart where you're not being seen by the customers a lot, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. You got to think about the dynamics of the way life has, been lived and stuff. Certain people, are afraid because of the stigmas behind tattoos. And I get it. Everybody that has tattoos are not affiliated with gangs or treacherous things and stuff like that, and that's true. That's true. But the stigma behind those, when you go into you're trying to get certain jobs that are promoting certain images, tattoos is just not going to work, man. I feel bad for old dude, but at the same time though too, like the suggestion that I did give, like he may need to get into some warehouse work, construction, something where he's not being seen by the public on a consistent basis. And I guarantee he probably will find success in those jobs. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say, and
that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom